but the only thing left from Peden is the roof and the front pillar, maybe.
Let's see, where are we exactly?
In the middle of nowhere.
We're in the middle of nowhere in Ireland, west of Dublin, and we're here to visit the Drift Game guys. If you haven't heard of the Drift Game guys, they are the original founders of the IDC, the Irish Drift Championship. They no longer do that. They have their own YouTube channel and they have a lot of cool drift cars.
There's many a yoke, like.
So we decided to make, I think it was a 2.5 hour journey down to the middle of nowhere. Come see what the guys are up to, so let's go check it out. This is like Wayne's yard, but we've only built this like in the last few months. This is all fresh. Are we allowed to shake hands? Like, this is the thing. I keep going to shake people's hands.
Do this. Oh. An elbow to fist. We'll just make a new one. There you go.
Is the M4 yours? Is that your daily one?
That's my daily. What I found is like I mapped that one to 525, and then now it's
unhandleable.
I'd have to put semi-slicks on the back of it really to make any sense of it, like, because there's Michelin 4S's on it, and you either turn the traction control off and you're just clouding the place out of it.
Mine actually no longer does launch mode, and it no longer does burnouts.
Really? That one, if I do a launch in it, it'll go to fourth smoking wheels, like, it's serious.
Sporty, like.
Is it a 2-litre diesel?
Don't tell anyone.
It's a 2-litre diesel, unfortunately.
Bonnet's cool though. It's an M4 GTS style bonnet. Yeah, I think James wants it. I can imagine that on your Jeep. Still a 2-litre diesel, which is the shame.
But this is everything that we've spent 16 years of financial mistakes all in one shed. Josh's car was, from our videos you'll see that it's like, this was the most neglected MX-5 on the planet. Yeah. Like, it's been a bit of a labour of love, and it's been, and also this is the car that causes the most amount of controversy on MX-5 forums. They reckon that these can't run over 260 horsepower on a 1.6 engine or whatever, and without blowing up. So this one's proving it wrong.
Who did all the work?
Motorsport 56. So there's a full link system, and that's literally the whole link catalogue in there. Custom wiring, Ori coil packs, and the turbo, if I'm not
way above my head, that's what it is.
Yeah, so it runs 307 horsepower now on a 1.6.
Holy shit.
He had a, on the dash, basically, for a long time in the office before we were drifting, he used to just change my screensaver consistently to this one picture all the time, which was like an Asian guy in Speedos. And then every time my computer would go in standby, anyone in the office or even sponsors or whatever would see this and then say nothing. I'm not sure how PC your vlog is. That works. That works. So
this is your new one then?
This is my new daily.
Just got it? Yeah. This is your new daily, yeah?
This is
okay.
my new daily. So
we were, funny enough, on the way down here, we were actually looking, James was looking at like different ones, because we were actually tempted to buy, funny enough, this is one of the things we want to ask you about. We're tempted to buy a drift car. We're not tempted, we're going to buy a drift car and pretend to learn how to drift basically ourselves. And we wanted to get your opinion on what car to buy. That was kind of one of the questions I want to ask you. But,
so I think for road cars, S-bodies now are the way to go because they're just appreciating in value. Like for me, a lot of people think it's extravagant having some of these cars, but to me it's like better than money in the bank. This will be like, these two are essentially going to be sister cars, road cars. And this one is like one of the cleanest Corollas.
Well, this is going to go into a museum probably at one point in its life.
It's absolutely spot on. So I won this car in a raffle. Yeah, just entered a competition, forgot I even entered it. Guy rang me one evening saying he won a Corolla. I thought it was a scam, as in like you know, you could win the Corolla, and then I actually did win it. So we went up to collect it, and I thought, it's really strange when you win a car, because you don't inspect it, you don't know if it's good or bad, and I was like, it's better than 25 quid either way. So if it's a rough one, I'll track it and have fun in it. If it's a really clean one, I'll just... So it's absolutely spotless, like literally one of the nicest Corollas I'd say in the country. No rust on anywhere, completely under seal. The guy brought it in 2016 from Japan, left it in the shed, brought it to his wedding, did donuts at his wedding, and put it back in the shed. Never saw rain, never saw anything. It was a Jap car. He made it look like a UK car, and now I'm in the process of making it into a Jap car. So the Chevy, yeah, what is the Chevy all about? So I wanted. I don't know why one day I decided I was going to buy. I wanted a lowrider, so I was like, it's on fairly aggressive air at the moment that doesn't work. So it'll go down and then take about an hour and a half to go up. So yeah, with that one, this one is the one that still needs work. There's no head on the engine, as you can see. So this is a full competition spec car, but it's done, I'd say now at this stage, it's done 20,000 euro in 6 laps. So it's broken so many heads, rockers, loads of stuff. So we've just over-engineered the head of the engine now to put it back on this week, map it again, and it should be bulletproof. And then this one is my favorite car here, I think, probably of all of them. It's the one I've had the most fun in. So this is like, it doesn't make sense why it's so good. Like, alignment stuff's pretty bad, the wiring is horrendous, but it looks nice and it drives nice, and the only nice bit in it, I'd say, especially, is the Samsonus in it, the sequentials. And yeah, it's actually a really, really nice car to drive, and a lot of fun to drive. So that's what I'm going to be using in competition. Like, nothing really works that great on it, but for some reason it actually never lets us down. And it's this was Pete Nielsen's old car, but the only thing left from Pete is the roof and the front pillar, maybe. It's the only thing that was left from 3 years ago. My Draco bitch is fight. Diamonds on me fight. I heard these niggas wanna fight. Meet me at my initial, but you better bring a pipe. Fairly tasty in terms of fabrication, front and back. Yes, we had a fuel tank in this last year, and I looked at it a couple times going, someone ran into the back of me, I'm gonna explode. So we built this. It's actually the same as what you would put into a rally car. So if someone hits you from any angle, and then this...
Does that take the compression there and actually quite a lot?
Yeah, basically these bars down here sort of take the first impact, and they are designed to break.
So before, was there not even this?
There was a bar, but it wasn't, the fuel tank sat really low, so the car I think could go under it, but now we've got like... And the other thing is, as you can see, the whole back end of the car bolts off. So you can take off the bolts, and you can pull the whole thing off. Yeah. And because he has this to spec, if I crash this, he can actually send me this whole rear end piece in 2 or 3 days, and I can just paint it and put it back in again as a brand new one. I don't know why I'm planning to crash it so dramatically. This one is probably the biggest financial mistake, but this one it's running great now at the moment actually, but it's been a long road with this one. So this is obviously Vaughan Jr.'s old car, and I found it in Abu Dhabi. So Danny Neville had this car, and he was drifting it in a championship that I was running back in the day, and I was like, that's really cool. And then it just so happened one night there was an event that was taking place in Oman, so they had a big truck coming to collect like 10 drift cars, and Danny dropped the car off, and I was driving it actually onto the truck, and I just took it for a spin around the industrial estate and was like, this thing is amazing. And when I started commentating drifting, a lot of people don't realize I didn't know much about drifting before I started commentating, so I had to bluff it. So I just watched Formula D to see what was going on or what the rules were. And then this car won the year that championship, so it was kind of like sentimental value. It was like a 3-way swap of 3 different cars for me to end up with this, which is really interesting because I had a Corolla SR20 drift car, and Sultan really wanted that car, and Danny really wanted Sultan's 180 that he wasn't using anymore. It just was like a 3-way thing. So the Corolla went to Sultan, the 180 went to Danny, and Danny's car went to me. And it was like a certain amount of money went each way, but it was like a deal too good to kind of refuse. For what seems a very extravagant car, obviously, as you guys know, things kind of get thrown away over there a little bit, and they're only as valuable as they're interested in. The forged engine, which means it's easy to put a turbo or supercharger on it. This was done in Abu Dhabi. They just obviously went, what is the biggest supercharger there is in the world? Let's put that on it.
It's a different place, like, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's like off a truck, you know. So it's hugely laggy. In Middle East, they just go, yeah, build it. But they also don't have, they still need the time to drive it and to actually be good. So there's some very good drivers. Like I would say Saudi surprised me. There's not a whole lot of drivers, but they're very good naturally. And we're just trying to work with them now to build, sort of catch up. Like where they have the machinery and they have the ability. What really brings the championship together, I think, is the organisation, the judging, and the structure of like, what are you trying to do? How do you win? That's kind of where any championship you'll notice, like, who's been really organised over the last 20 years, has brought the drivers tenfold at the world championship level. So it's pretty cool to have like this, which was where it all started, to kind of this where it went kind of crazy in America, to where it went in Japan, to just a silly car for Josh, really. And then the Caprice, I don't really have an explanation for.
So you definitely say don't build a drift car, buy one. 350.
That's what I said.
The best drift car, budget drift car there is. Buy a 350, have so much fun in it.
Learn how to
drift. Everyone will have a good time. You won't be under the car all day fixing stuff and this, that, and the other. And everything's cheap enough for them at the moment.
I see him talking shit, press the start button then call it quit. No ain't that some shit, make him fall in love with a handsome dick. I kill it, go so deep, something like when the casket dip.
So yeah, that's basically it. We're down at Drift Games. Thanks to Dave for showing us about. We definitely got jealousy of your studio kind of garage space anyway.
Yeah, we're trying to still register that we actually pulled this off, especially with lockdown and stuff. It was only an idea, and I think if we were in a regular year we might have had as much time to actually put into it. But take a positive from a pretty messy year, and like we actually have a nice space now, so we're really pumped with it. Yeah.
Well, James and I have decided that we're taking this one, by the way.
Yes.
That's the only one you can't take. I could interest you in a Caprice from 1984. You guys, if you're getting into drifting or whatever, obviously the 180s are great. We've tried to give you some advice on getting a 350 today as well.
See, when you say you're getting into drifting, like we're not getting into drifting because we're going to be absolutely awful. More like we're going to get a car's rear wheel drive and we're going to hit it into a wall. That's what I would call it.
Yeah, you can like, you just have it sitting in the garage and say you're a drifter. A lot of people do that as well. So I think you definitely have to experience.
We'll have to get you guys up on the podcast to tell us a bit about your some good stories from.
Yeah, we have a lot of stories that we probably don't say a lot about, but yeah, we could come up on the podcast. We love to. We really like what you guys do and similar car heads, so it's great to kind of get in the same room.
Nice one.